Hi guys, and welcome back to another Met Gaming video where we go through my latest pickups from charity shops, game shops, pawn shops, Facebook and online and eBay from the last couple of weeks. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first couple of games are Game Gear games. Pretty much a underrated handhold in my opinion, where the games are still super cheap for what you get. Actually didn't go into this game shop for these particular games. Went in for another reason, but they were sitting there, and you don't often see Game Gear games in vast quantities at this particular chain of game shops. So when you see them, they're only can't be more than a couple of quid each. I pick them up if I haven't got them. So the first one is a game that I have tried. It's very much like a Zelda RPG, Axe Battler. The Legend of the Golden Axe. Yeah, so I did enjoy that. I've only played it briefly, but for, I believe, it was either 50p or £1. I can't remember, but even if it was £1.50, I still think that's a bargain. So £1, well, so say £1. The next one is a game I didn't have, and again, cheap enough because it's a Game Gear game. It's Taz. Very much like Sonic, kind of a side-rolling scroll game kind of thing. You run around, jump over things, boulder comes down, all that jazz. Yeah, so I believe this was £1.50. So again, I say to you guys, the Game Gear, I believe, is so underrated compared to. I mean, look, £1.50 for a game that you can enjoy for hours. It's crazy, really. In the same game, at the same game shop, should get there and get my words out in a minute. There was a couple of Game Boy games, so I picked these up, more of a shelf filler type games. So just go through it. Right, the first one was the Addams Family. No, just really any discoloration to the actual cartridge itself. That was £3.50. The next one is Track and Field on the original Game Boy. Again, no real colour, no discoloration to the cartridge itself, really. I believe that was £1. The next one was, which I believe was Mortal Kombat 2 when I saw it in the case, but when I closer took it home and looked at it closely, it's Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2. And I think I believe I paid £4 or £3 for this game. Again, in immaculate condition, really. The next one is a golf game for the Game Boy. We all love Mario Golf, and I'm sure this is not as good, but for £2 was going to pick it up. There is discoloration to the back, but oh well, you can't see that once it's plugged in. And it, like I say to you, these are just shelf fillers to add to the collection. And finally, on the Game Boy games is Soccer. Again, it's £1, but there is some wear to the top of the label there. Not too bothered about it, but the cartridge itself is in all okay condition. Plus, they come with these little plastic cases, which I'll probably be robbing these out and putting the Pokemon games in there or something like that. The more valuable games of Zeldas and stuff like that. Just keep them nice and clean. The one and only game I picked up on the PlayStation 1 from the game shop. I wasn't intending to pick this up as well, but I saw it at the back of the counter. Is Air Combat on the PlayStation 1. Again, £1.50. I enjoyed this type of game when I was younger, so I'm guessing I will enjoy it again. The disc is obviously, as you would expect, coming from this particular game shop, is in good nick. There is some waviness to the actual label, but for £1.50, I'm not going to cry about it. So, yeah, that's the first PlayStation game. So, there was also a Facebook pickup. 6 games were advertised. He wanted £20 for it. He lived about 15 miles away. I was tempted, but I said, no, thank you. It's a good price. I would want them, but I'm not going to be nowhere near your area anytime soon. So it's not really worth me going all the way down to you just to pick up these games. It's not, once you figure in petrol in your time, it doesn't become cost effective. But he said, Whereabouts are you from? I told him what sort of area I lived in. He said, my girlfriend lives in there. I'm up there in 2 days' time. I can drop them to your house if you want. Fantastic. So he dropped them to my house. There's 6 games here. I pay £20 for the lot. 5 games which will go into the collection, and 1 game that will just go into the pile for trade. It's not worth anything really. But that game that will just go in the trade pile is Gran Turismo 2. Look, listen, I don't have to say any much about that. Everyone knows what the game. The case itself is in good nick, so I'm happy with that. It's actually in really good nick, to be honest. I'm always trying to get over the thickness of the manual. Oh, yeah, that's not the one that's the thickness, but it's got both discs. Again, in good nick. The second game is a game I didn't have. Kind of wanted it on Black Label, but I will take a platinum copy. It's Destruction Derby 2. And not a game, believe it or not, I had. And came complete. Is that the price? No, it's just a sticker. Yeah, so that adds to the collection. Next game is Die Hard Trilogy. Die Hard Trilogy 2. Viva Las Vegas. Not a game. Of course, I've got Die Hard. Probably got several copies of Die Hard. But I don't believe I had Die Hard Trilogy 2. So I'm happy to get that. And do love myself a shoot 'em up. Next game is a game based on a Bruce Willis film, which I did not have. Apocalypse. The case is in better days in the corner there, but not too bad. It did come complete as per the list, and the discs are all the same. They're in good condition. Let's just close this up. Not too sure what type of game it is. I'll give it a go probably after this video and see what it's all about. Always try them, not because I want to work, see if they work. It's not the case. I didn't have many games on the PlayStation 1. I only played the games to death, because back then a game was 60 quid and you play it to death and then you get another one. But it could be months before you get another one because of the price of it. And when you're 13, 14 years old, 60 quid's a lot of money. So I always try and pick up games I've never had and always try them. I may not like them, but at least then I know. Because you'd be surprised. I thought Blade was a good game, but obviously it's not worth anything. The next 2 games are the real cream, I believe, of these 6 games I picked up, and the real reason why I picked them up. The first one is Pac-Man World. Complete with disc and manual. All in, nice and neat. I think they go for about £10 in most of the game shop around my area. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's a 3D Pac-Man game, so you can't go wrong with that. And finally, the game I didn't have and needed, and probably the reason that attracted me really to this little bundle, was Crash Bandicoot on 2, complete disc and manual. Manual's in good nick. It's the smaller case version, but a Black Label case nonetheless. So yeah, so that was the 6 games for £20 off Facebook. Try and get them all in. So yeah, that's this. Right, last couple of weeks worth of collections. I have got should have a car boot video coming up shortly. I haven't got quite enough volume there to justify a video just yet, but I will be hitting the car boots this weekend, so hopefully we have more add to the pile of games and I can show them off to you or show you what I picked up. That's about it really. So this is the last couple of weeks worth of collections. As you probably noticed in the videos, I collect for PlayStation, Game Boy and Game Gear, Game Boy Advanced. I haven't got involved in the Mega Drive yet, which I will do. I really want to start collecting that. I did have a Mega Drive as a kid, but I believe you can only concentrate on a few collections at any given time. And when I feel my collection in the PlayStation, Game Boy and Game Gear are where I want to be, not saying I wouldn't add any more games to them, but once I believe I've got the bulk of what I would like, I may move on to the Mega Drive. Well, I will. But the likes of the NES and the SNES and all that, and the Nintendo 64, didn't have it as a kid. Was a PlayStation kid, to be honest. So so not any real nostalgia. I did have a N64 briefly with GoldenEye and Mario 64 on it. Didn't really enjoy it. Didn't really enjoy it. They were the only two games I had, so there wasn't much variety there. So I concentrated on the PlayStation, and I believe the PlayStation had better strategy games, which was my love back then. So before I go on any further, I don't want to make this video too long. I'll see you later.